Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. The topic of this 10-minute moan is the absolutely bizarre situation where the Labour government made a mess of releasing some of the prisoners early. Dozens who were not due because of the category of their offences to be released are now walking the streets of the United Kingdom. Now, Sky Sports broke this news about 20 minutes ago. Their headline is "Dozens let out of prison under emergency release scheme were freed by mistake." About 1,700 prisoners were released from jails across England and Wales on the 10th of September in a bid to cut overcrowding. Dozens of people released from jail under the government's emergency prison scheme were freed by mistake. A Ministry of Justice source said 37 people were released in error on the 10th of September because their offences were wrongly logged under repealed legislation. This meant that cases were not flagged for exemptions, which were designed to prevent those guilty of certain types of crime from being released. 5 prisoners have not yet been returned to jail, but most have been brought back into custody. A Ministry of Justice spokesperson said, "Public safety is our first priority. That is why we took the decision to fix the broken prison system we inherited and kept the most dangerous offenders locked up." Well, you kind of didn't. This included blocking the early release of domestic abuse offences such as stalking and controlling behaviour. We are working with the police to urgently return a very small number of offenders who were charged incorrectly and sentenced under repealed legislation to custody. The convictions remain valid, with offenders monitored since their release and will soon be back behind bars. In an ex-post, Shadow Home Secretary James Cleverly criticised the government for wrong priorities and bad decisions. "The British people can see this clueless, heartless Labour government for what it is," he added. About 1,700 prisoners were released from jails across England and Wales on the 10th of September in a bid to cut overcrowding, with thousands more anticipated to be freed in October. This is in addition to around 1,000 who are typically freed each week. Justice Secretary Shabana Mahmood announced plans in July to temporarily cut the proportion of sentences inmates must serve from 50 to 40%. That came as Minister of Justice said overcrowding had pushed jails to the point of collapse. Downing Street said the policy had to be brought in to avoid unchecked criminality, where the police and courts were unable to lock anyone up. The policy does not apply to those convicted of sex offences, terrorism, domestic abuse, or some violent offences. But campaigners and charities warned the scheme may come at the expense of women and children's safety, while others raised concerns that it would put a strain on probation services. Prison figures have warned the move will only buy time for about a year before the same issues become a force again. So there we have it. Keir Starmer in his urgency to jail people for protesting, to jail people for observing protests, for jail 72-year-old women for just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and giving these people custodian sentences. Had to make way for them. There is a process in England where you must, before you arrest somebody, you must know that there's somewhere to put them. And if you can't keep them in custody in a police station, you need to take them to court and put them into the prison awaiting trial. If there's no space, they can't do it. So he decided, empty them, fill the court, get all these people banged up. And guess what? They managed to make an arse of it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you've not already done so, please consider subscribing and hitting the notifications bell. But most importantly of all, unless you're this Labour government that seem to make a complete arse of everything, not you, but
everyone else. Have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.